Hi, I'm EllaAradia and welcome to your September 2025 Psychic Tarot reading. This reading is for my Scorpio water signs, where we'll be exploring the overall energies and themes for the month ahead, as well as taking a deeper dive into how these might be playing out for you in your life. This is a general reading, so it's going to resonate a little bit differently for all of you. Although what I do find is there's always a shared theme that runs through the collective of all of you Scorpio signs. So take what feels aligned to you and just leave the rest. And before we jump in, I just want to say a big thank you to all of you who are supporting my channel by liking and subscribing. So if you enjoy this reading and you haven't already done that, please do. It helps the channel out a lot. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe, and then you can get notified when the next videos are up. So Scorpio, let's jump in. I feel this month, Scorpio, there's going to be some lessons around letting go of self-doubt and trusting yourself. Because what I feel around you, the best way I can describe it is this energy of mixed signals. Now, this could be in the workplace, or it could be, someone that you are connected with. And a real kind of lack of clarity is what I feel around where you stand. What is your role in this situation, in this job, in this connection? And I feel like it's causing you to, really question your feelings, to question your path, your choices. And there's all this, self-doubt that I feel creeping in. And with your overall energies, we have the Five of Wands, which is often a card that comes up when there's conflict. It's also a card of competition. And this conflict can be, in the workplace. There may be something happening around, competition around a possible promotion or something like that for some of you. And it may be conflict in your relationship. And for others, the conflict's inside of ourselves. And what lies in your recent past, we have the Hierophant. This is a card of keeping the faith, trust, connecting to, that inner wisdom. So the Hierophant is really our connection to the divine and the connection to, those higher, wiser aspects of ourselves. Now, sometimes I call this the counseling card because it can be to, seek out advice from, a trusted friend or professional, particularly about your situation. It's also a card in love of the kind of connection which is built on, shared values, mutual respect, shared values. It's a card of tradition. For some of you, commitment. And with your current energies, the Eight of Cups, so somebody walking away, somebody, it could be you or your person, walking away from a potential commitment here, Scorpio. Because the Eight of Cups represents some kind of emotional departure, let's say. So somebody moving on. And with your feelings towards your situation, the Ten of Wands, this is somebody or something that many of you have, really invested a lot of your time and energy in. You've put your heart and soul into this person or whatever that is. And with this card, sometimes comes this energy of a heaviness, And so there is also something about this situation which I feel for many of you is starting to, really weigh you down here. When I feel into your person, this Hierophant and the Six of Cups here, I feel that you are dealing with somebody who just wasn't quite ready to really take things to the next level. And what I'm feeling here, Scorpio, is that your person has, just kind of checked themselves out. And when I feel into their energies, I feel that the invitation was always there with you. Now, of course, that can be you moving on as well. That's going to resonate for some of you. But the invitation was always for something, long-term, that's built on strong foundations, commitment. This is like this kindred soul energy, shared values, those really strong foundations which really do, they go for the long term, they stand the test of time. And it happens so many times when, things are about to go to that next level. So for some of you, it could have been, moving in together. It could even have been marriage. And, when it's these moments when, something really starts to deepen in that connection. And what happens is, if you're dealing with someone who has brought old traumas or past hurts into the connection and they haven't fully healed from them, to go deeper, to open up to that new level of commitment involves being seen. It involves opening up the heart. And that can be a very vulnerable place for some people. People walk away from love and commitment for many reasons, but very often, it's because, these wounds from the past are not healed, and there is a fear to be seen, the insecurities and the fears start to come up. And I just feel that you have been, with this Ten of Wands, in this kind of, open, closed, back and forth, mixed signals situation with your person for quite some time now, to the point where, things do feel like they have gotten heavy. And somebody has, moved on, or somebody is about to kind of move on from this. And for those of you that this applies to, career and job, I feel like it's related to, some kind of next step in your career. There may have been conflict in the workplace. It may have been a promotion that, there's more than one person, competing for something that, would put you on this path of that long-term stability. But something has, fallen through here. And for some of you, it may even be mixed signals in the workplace where you're being acknowledged perhaps for your desire to progress and expand and grow, but yet nothing is really materializing. And it starts to come to this place of, discontent, dissatisfaction in some way, and something that feels like it's just got heavy for many of you. And what lies in your challenge position is the Fool. So this is the first card of the Major Arcana, and the Fool comes in when a chapter has closed and we're about to move into a whole new phase in life. So the Fool is all about, taking a leap of faith in some way. And so for many of you, I feel like there's a little bit of a struggle here, a little bit of a challenge to, step into this new beginning, to take a leap of faith. Because the Fool is all about, moving forwards into the unknown with an open heart, trusting your path. And that's what I talked about at the beginning, that there is this need somehow on a higher level to really trust yourself here, Scorpio, moving forwards. Trust what your heart's saying, trust your truth, trust your feelings, and just know that, they will never guide you in the wrong direction here. And with your hidden influence, we have the Five of Cups, which is a card of, emotional sadness, very often of loss and regret, going back over, if I'd have said this, or if I had, done this or acted in a certain way, maybe things would have been different. And I feel like the caution here is really about, just making sure that, you don't get stuck in, this regret and going back over the past and what maybe if you'd done things differently, things would have been different. And just really, making sure that, while it is good to look back over the past and really learn from it, it is important not to get stuck there, because when you look at the image on the card here, there are two cups that are still standing. So there is still something, that some kind of blessing, some kind of silver lining that is still to be gained from this situation, Scorpio. And with your advice from the universe, the Ten of Swords, the ending of some kind of difficult, challenging, for some of you painful, there can even be betrayal involved, whether that's within your relationship or in the workplace, like I was talking about before, with the competition. It's the ending of a difficult time, the ending of something which is well and truly over. With this Ten of Wands, it is something that is just done. It's something that's come full circle, and it really is time to just let that go and move forwards into this energies of the Fool and this new beginning. So with the Ten of Swords there, you can see in the background, the sun is about to rise. You can see that dawn. And I feel like it's really important to trust that moving forwards, that with every ending, there is a new beginning. And sometimes the most challenging endings can have, the greatest gift, these two cups that are still standing here. But you've just got to take that leap of faith, and you've just got to trust, that your soul is guiding you in the right direction here, Scorpio. So the potential outcome, the Queen of Pentacles, and I really like this in the outcome position, because this is all about, you nurturing your garden, and not just your home, your environment, and the people around you. This is also about moving forwards, really knowing your worth and your value here, Scorpio. So I'm going to leave it there. If this reading resonated, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, no matter what comes through in a reading, moving forwards, always trust what feels right for you. So thanks so much for being here, Scorpio, and I wish you a great month ahead.